evening, everybody. My name is Warden, and I will be your host for tonight's entertainment. Now you may be wondering, Warden, why are you in the Twilight Forest, and why are you standing directly next to a hungry node? I know you have it contained and everything, but why? Well, it is quite simple. This is step 1 of a project that I have been meaning to complete since the day I got here. Ignore the dog. I have been meaning to create a hungry node feeding system, which will allow me to infinitely generate more and more Vis as time goes on. The only issue is I would prefer to move it using this warded glass, as it means I do not have to do my usual method of coating it in obsidian and then very quickly changing it to glass before I convert it into a jar. However, this does require an extra step. I have to put silverwood logs on top of this setup, and then I have to ward those silverwood logs with a warding focus. And the primary hiccup in terms of the warding focus is it requires infusing a nether star. You can see where I'm going with this, yes? So my goal for today is 1, to fight the wither, 2, collect that hungry node, and 3, once I have that hungry node collected, I'm going to put it aside to get ready to set it up for a feeding mechanism, and I'm going to start laying out the groundwork for the comms tower, because more than ever I can no longer put it off. So let me head on back home to the overworld so that we may proceed with our plan. I have gotten a little bit done here and there between broadcasts. I have made a proper entrance to my farm, and I have started to work on the second level of my crop farm up here. I have also started to expand the magical forest biome, as I think it would be a good idea to terraform this area into a sort of artificial magical forest, with some plains surrounding it and maybe a forest biome. I do know that there is an arcane terraformer, but for the life of me I have not been able to get that damn thing to work. I have also made a very, 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 very small cactus farm, which works to the specifications that I need of it. I don't particularly need a whole lot of cactus. I actually convert the majority of it into slime balls. And down here, in terms of progress, I have made the beginnings of a secondary little room down here so that I can have a second alchemical furnace set up specifically designed to melt down items into potentia for fuel for my harness. Let me just finish trimming this out, as I do have one more surprise before we move on to completing all our projects. As you know, I do love building with some terracotta, and unfortunately the manual method of harvesting clay to get terracotta is an enormous pain in the ass. However, I have had something I've been sort of quietly sitting on, putting aside and putting aside and putting aside because I just couldn't get around to working on it. But I have finally managed to make the time to get it done, and I will show you the fruits of my labor, of this secret little thing that I have. And here we go. This little beauty right here is a clay construct spawner. And if the name doesn't give that away, these constructs drop clay. I have been grinding here on and off to get myself the clay needed for the terracotta that I use in my builds. It's not much, but it works, and it does the job just fine for me. I don't necessarily need anything fancier than this. And even just from that little bit of grinding right here, we already have 32 clay blocks at our disposal. So as you can see, this is a very, very useful farm for me. With that tiny little showcase out of the way, it is time to work towards getting enough wither skeleton skulls to grind up a couple of withers and use their nether stars for our own purposes. Now, the quest book does provide a default means of getting the skulls. You just have to kill zombie pigmen for it. However, zombie pigmen are very risky to farm if you don't have the proper infrastructure set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very classic style of farm. Does anybody here remember how you used to have to do blaze farms before lava pushed entities? If not, that is totally 100% okay, because I will be showing you that in a mere moment. Because I do have one more secret. I lied by accident because I totally forgot. I did make a blaze farm off camera, and it has served me quite well, and I will show you exactly how that blaze farm functions so that you can see where I am going with the wither skeleton farm. Because all the wither skeleton spawners are in the nether. One of you mentioned getting a hold of a diamond dolly to move the spawners around, and so far I have not been able to find a diamond dolly, and unfortunately, diamond dollies are not craftable. I'm mashing R over this. They are not craftable, unfortunately. Oh well, you make do with what you got. I probably will kill one more zombie pigman because I'm 9 out of 10 of the way there, but I am going to make a wither skeleton farm so that I don't need to kill zombie pigmen to get ahead. So, just in case anybody is curious about the logistics of making a blaze farm, if you come with me in here, this is going to be a little bit risky. I'm actually going to take this out just in case. Pop open the farm here. You'll see that it operates on a very basic principle. Because water does not work in the nether, it uses pressure plates and pistons to shove the blazes down to the very bottommost part of the farm. And if we come down here, ignore the unfinished stairs, I haven't quite put this together, we can see that the blazes are fully ready to be attacked. Some special blazes still break out of the containment because there's not much that can be done about that. But all in all, this is a highly effective farm, which is why I'm going to be using it on the wither skeletons. The trick is just finding a wither skeleton spawner in the correct position that I can properly isolate it and build a little farm around it. So let us go through this dungeon here, which I have finished clearing off camera, as it really wasn't very exciting outside of those couple of incidents, I assure you. Ah, here we go. Skeleton spawner. There is a zombie spawner next to it, unfortunately, and I already have a zombie grinder, and I don't really want to create a multiple mob farm in this mod pack where there are, you know, turbo fuck zombies that can kill you from across the map, you know? So, that spawner has to go to EBDB. So I'll go over the basics of this, but I will link the tutorial that I used as a reference for this down below in the description. But what you do is you want a circle underneath the spawner. Doesn't necessarily, you want it at least like 2 to 3 blocks. Actually, now I think about it, wither skeletons are taller. I'm gonna have to lower this by 1 block. But essentially you just want it to be, the first layer to be just far enough down that the mobs are able to get shoved in the hole. Then you put pressure plates all around it. You take those pressure plates and you do this. Oh, whoops, did it a little bit wrong. There we go. Okay, so now that you've done this, you take your repeaters, face them this direction. You want one side where the repeaters aren't all the way around because it can cause the pistons to get stupid. And then once you have done that, you do this. Build up blocks behind the repeaters, like so. You take your sticky piston, And as you can see, this is where it all comes together. You put the blocks like so, and then anytime a mob lands on these pressure plates, so for example if I go here, I get shoved down into the hole. That will be what happens to the wither skeletons. And I must stress that these must be sticky pistons. You cannot use ordinary pistons. And all it is just the repeater powers the block that the piston is on top of. The redstone signal goes into the piston and causes it to extend. In modern versions of Minecraft, you don't necessarily need to do this because lava pushes mobs. You can still use this system in modern versions if you wish. It is just significantly less effective because there are just straight up better ways to do it. Ah, I have fucked up. Well, you get the gist. I'll finish working on this and I'll be back when I am all finished this little farm. And there we go. So you don't have to do 3 layers. The bare minimum you can get away with is these first 2. But I like to have 3 layers just to maximize the amount of space that I can allocate to spawning. Now I should make note that there is currently no collection or killing area underneath here. It is just a drop into lava as the farm is not totally completely set up. Now that we have a roof on, we can break these torches and make it quite dark in here. And then, now it is time to make the killing area, which is very, very, very simple to make. First, you want to clear out as much space as you need for the killing area. So because wither skellies are 3 blocks tall, I am going to make this 2 blocks. And then put this so that they cannot see. Actually, I'm going to use full blocks because some of the smaller versions, because of the special mobs mod, are going to be able to get through underneath those slabs. So let's make that a full block instead. I'll decorate this to look nice, but right now I just want functional. And as you can see, the mob farm is working quite nicely already. And there we go. As you can see, this farm works just fine. It captures both the small ones and the big ones, and over time you will slowly start to collect heads. I am going to kill some more wither skeletons, try and get a 5th head, then I'm going to kill a pigman, get a 6th head, and then I'm going to set up the wither arena. Alright, pigman killed, let us head on out of here. Because I don't want to fight the wither in the nether due to an entity called a hellfish, which spawns in netherrack and can be a pain in the ass to fight. Instead, we are going to be fighting the wither not in the overworld, but in the twilight. I just figured that the twilight would probably be the best case to defeat the wither in, due to the fact that it's very overworld-like, but not the same. Namely, that if the wither gets loose in the twilight, it's not nearly as horrible as if it gets loose in the overworld. Now that we've killed that zombie pigman, let's claim this. And soon we will be able to complete this. It'll even give us an extra nether star, so we'll have 3 of them. You know what? I wonder, that warded glass is a bitch to break if you don't know what you're doing. I wonder if I could make a wither trap using it. Because I know that the wither can break obsidian. Making an obsidian cage is a good strategy for starting the wither fight, but not for ongoing. So what if I just trapped it in a warded glass cage? That would certainly streamline things a little bit. Okie dokie. I have soul sand, I have my warded glass for my experiment. And I am going to go down into my old mines, which I do use like on and off. Not nearly as often as since I've started clearing the taint from the overworld, because ore generation down here is actually just as crummy as it is. Oh, that was not what I meant to use, but you know what? It's fine. Another one of these bitches again. I don't even care. I don't even care. Take your crummy loot and get out of here. Hey, there's hell in here. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I can't see, but I think there's something deeply wrong with the— Oh! No! Extremely bad. Cursed, even. What the fuck? Okay. Something was deeply wrong with those kobolds, right? I'm not the only one who saw that. Please. Like, oh, upsetting. Jesus Christ. What has God done to you? Alright, I'm clearing out this little room to put my wither cage in. I'm either going to be in for a very easy wither fight or a horrible, horrible surprise. Okie dokie, put this down like this, and as you can see, I cannot break this. It does make it very hard to build with, because you had to be very, very, very precise. I'm gonna need one more block of space. Oh, looks like I'm going to need more warded glass. Be right back. Oakley dokley, resuming what I was doing. I will say, if this does work, I am still going to fight the wither the honest way by making a long arena and chase it and letting it chase me all the way down it. I just want to see if this works, to see if it'll make grinding the wither easier in the future. If I remember right, the wither is a 3x3 in terms of its hitbox size. Okay. Let's see if this works. I don't have my armor on. Oh fuck yeah, he's stuck. Oh my god, Wizard Obliterator is just taking this guy straight back to hell where he came from. And there we go. Another star. Oh, I forgot to scan the wither. That's okay. Alright, pop open the quest book. Claim a reward. Scan the beacon. There we go. Beacon and Nether Star. And I'm going to fight the second wither, honestly now. But just so you know, future withers will be fought in the fuck cube. Okie dokie. Taking this, taking this, taking this, taking this, taking this, and putting this on. Putting these away. Let us go down this mine shaft. Why not? I believe it's one of my longest. It goes all the way to the Twilight Highlands. And let us set up a little room to fight the Wither in. Now this is the more traditional way to fight a Wither. Some people build big Wither arenas, but most people will build long mine shafts and then let it chase them down. It's also a very effective mining technique. Now let's see where this douche went. Yep, see? Look at the way it mines that stone. Way faster than anything. I forgot to scan the Wither again, and that was also still a little anticlimactic. Maybe I should make a bigger room. Yeah, let's carve out a larger room. Alright, bigger arena made. Now I'm going to go get more skulls and a little bit more soul sand, and let's see if we can't have a bit more of a climactic fight. Okie dokie. Let's try this again. I'm sure the Wither doesn't mind being summoned and slain over and over again, and I mean, even if it did, it's not like it has a choice. Let's do this right. Back away, so that he can blow up. Yeah, come on, bitch boy, let's fucking go. You're a fucking joke. There we go. Now that was a little bit more fun. Of course, I'm still gonna kill him in the fuck box from now on, but wasn't that so much better than the other ways? Ouch. Oakley dokily. Now that we have a bunch of nether stars, oopsie, forgot to put my harness back on. Now that we have our nether stars, let us go and make ourselves a warding focus, make ourselves all the good things that you can make with nether stars. Oh, this is the thing that Reliquary adds that makes you immune to withering, right? Gravestone altar. What does that do again? Wait a minute, isn't this the thing that you could put these on? Oh lord. If I found the way to resurrect those guys, then I'm gonna have to add a new thing to the to-do list. Not right now, because again, necromancy is an art I'm not especially familiar with, but it is gonna go on the to-do list. Okie dokie. It doesn't look like this is too terribly expensive, just some Cognito, Ordo Terra, Tutamin. Yeah, I could do all this. Putting everything in its proper place. And let us begin the ritual. And here is our brand new warding focus. Now that we have our warding focus, there's just a couple of things I want to do to it. You may notice that there is a new building back here. Let me show you. See? This is a focus infusion area. So let us enchant this with Frugal right off the bat. We want this to cost as cheaply as possible going forward. It's also the only option. And we will want control over the affected area. This one will take a while because only one node is powering this. Something I want to make mention is that I actually catalyzed this node myself. It was a pain in the ass and took forever, and I probably will only do it for the purposes of adding more nodes to this Vs recharge relay here, because by God, I swear the infusion ritual took probably 10-15 minutes, real time, no joke. While we wait for my focus to finish being infused, I have started to push the borders, and we have almost entirely encapsulated spawn. I want to have a bit of breathing room on either side so that I have room to build the perimeter. But all in all, I'm pretty proud of how big this area is. I'm probably not going to be able to encompass the whole continent like I wanted to. That's a pretty lofty dream to begin with, honestly, but once I've done this entire area and then maybe I can move pier nodes along the wall so that it stays that way, maybe I'll create a pathway to the construct grinder. Oh, and my focus is done. Yes, excellent. And then this requires 24 levels, which we do not yet have. I've also infused my other two foci. Namely, I've made containment way cheaper to cast, and I have made it so that the portable hole is a little bit more useful. Once we build the perimeter, I don't see why we can't take these pier nodes and put them along the edge on little node stabilizers as decoration. And then I'm going to change this to a focus, warding focus. And I'm going to take this scepter with me. Because, if I remember right, let me double check how much this costs in Beasts. Yeah, this is how much it's going to cost us. Okie dokie, everything is all charged up. Let us go and capture that hungry node. Once I have the hungry node in possession, I'm not going to be able to set up its feeding mechanism right away. I just want to have it on hand. Especially because I think it might be useful as one of the mechanisms behind the communications tower. Because, I mean, when shit dies in a hungry node, it says, XYZ thing fell out of the world, you know? So technically, whatever hungry nodes, wherever they take the stuff that they eat, it must be between the worlds, right? Therefore, it makes sense that hungry nodes, being inherently interdimensional, might be able to, I don't know, boost the signal or help me break out of whatever is keeping me here. There we go. The node. Hopefully, yeah, what I'm thinking is, the hungry node will allow me to break whatever signal jamming mechanism is being used to keep me from being able to reach the team. In the meantime, though, we have our hungry node. It is bright and it is powerful. It has been eating stuff for quite some time, as you could tell from the crater down there. That obsidian bridge that I had there was to help me measure its range of influence, and 14 blocks is not a joke. I think in order to safely make use of it, I'm going to have to create the blink wand focus, which will allow me to teleport. So I'm going to take this hungry node, and I'm going to put it in a box for later. I'm going to put it in here. Now, hungry node gotten, wither defeated, beacon obtained. What else is there left for me to do? Well, let me check my clipboard. I made this in between episodes to help me keep track of what it is that I wanted to do. So we fought the Wither and we made a beacon. We got a hold of the Hungry node, but we don't have the automatic feeder yet. I need to make a Botania Island, and I need to advance a little bit further in Ars Magica, because I have reached that point where I can no longer just sit on top of this dinky little thing. All the spells that I want to make now require essence. So let me get out the Arcane Compendium and run through this and see what I can do to get a hold of essence. Okie dokie. Obelisk created. Does this have any aspects? Oh, I do. And let's put this over here. It's going to need some space after all if it is going to do all the fun things that it does. There we go. Now this should work, right? Oh, I'm gonna have to make a wrench. I mean, that makes sense. This is a little bit techy for a magic mod. So, I guess I should have been expecting this. Thankfully, the wrench is not expensive. I did some looking into, by the way, about dark and light Ethereum. That's going to be pretty doable. What I can do for the dark Ethereum generator, the Black Aurum or whatever it's called, is I can just simply take one of the Sinister nodes because it operates identically to a spawner, and simply use that to spawn my zombies to feed to the Black Aurum. Looks like the pairing was successful. Now let me get out one of the spells. This requires, yeah, this one requires neutral essence. Okay. Hopefully this isn't like Thaumcrouch, where if you leave the ritual going too long it explodes. Ooh. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And then we put that in here. That was my first time crafting using essence in Ars Magica. I am deeply unfamiliar with how Ars Magica works. Huh. This is supposed to be an attack laser, and yet it is not hurting anything. Maybe I need to use it on a real mob, not the test dummy, though I'm starting to have a sinking feeling that I may have just wasted a bunch of materials and time on, yeah. It was a cool idea. It was a cool idea, but it ended up not working out. That's fine. Oh well. Can't all be winners. Unfortunately, I am running out of time for the day, and I have quite a few irons in the fire that I need to tend to make sure that my plans succeed. After all, she said to come find her, so we are going to come find her. That old hag won't stand a fucking chance against me once I'm fully prepared, mark my words. She'll regret ever dragging me to this planet. We are going to tear her to shreds. So, with that, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, why not like, subscribe, share it with your friends, do all the good things you usually do to videos you like, and next time we will be getting together some of the materials needed to start building the comms tower. Not sure entirely what I need. Building communications towers is not my specialty. That was always another member of the crew. But I can make a couple of educated guesses. And I think I know where that tower is going to go. Until then, my name has been Warden, and I am signing off for tonight. Have a good evening, everybody.